Jasper, the Boy Diviner, here today, and I'll be going through how I actually study and learn how to read an Oracle deck. In this case, I'll be using the Empty Cup Oracle as an example, just so that you can have a look. And the particular type of Oracle deck that I'm teaching today will be related to, oracles that have to do with images that don't have some sort of structure that it's built on top of. For example, the Angel Layer is based on the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life. But in this case, the Empty Cup Oracle is just basically a bunch of images that the artist felt compelled to create into an Oracle deck. So this is the type of Oracle deck that I'll be going through today and on how to actually learn how to read this, alright? So you can see that I'm just showing you all the cards. So the first thing I usually do is to look through all the cards one by one. I usually do this when I get the deck and I'm cleansing it through smoke. So that's what I do first. Once I'm done with that part, the next part I'm going to do is to split up the cards into things that I understand and things that I don't really understand immediately. So that one I don't understand, this one I understand. And you go through the deck splitting into these two piles, those that you understand and you think you understand, or things that you can get. Like, look at the heart, that's courage. It's like easy to grasp. Whereas space and hatchet, these are more abstract ideas that I might not really understand. Furthermore, I have studied this deck, so this is just more for an example. So you basically split this into two decks, two piles first. So along the way, you may see cards that pique your interest, and you're not sure, like, oh, do I know this card? Do I not know this card? But if your instinct tells you, you know something about the card, put it in the understand pile first. Let's get through the cards that you really don't get first, okay? And then once you're done, you're like, okay, put aside those that you understand, and then, or not only understand, but those that you have a gut feeling that you know about, and open up your book and see what those that you don't understand actually mean. Alright, once you're reading the entry, looking at the image, make sure you take note of what you feel. This will be a good time to actually maybe do some journaling or some writing down. I'm using my iPad here. It is like brand new, but I've set this up. So what I'll do is usually take a photo of the card itself. Sometimes I take it with the entry in the book, and sometimes I don't. In this case, I just took a picture of the whistle, and right here I will be writing, what I feel from the entry that I read, or the gut feeling I get from the image, even though I don't really get it. When you read the entry, that should actually pull out some more feelings or some more emotions on that. In this case, the book does say, like, make some noise, use your voice, and this is what I wrote down first. Alright? And this is what you want to do throughout the whole pile, referring to the book, writing down how you feel, writing down what the book says, and take a picture of that card. This is how you slowly get through the pile that you do not know. Alright, so maybe you can do that again and again, but the next practice I want to share is splitting them into different categories. Like the empty cup, that is possibly some sort of tool. The book, I would say, it's paper, and then the cutting board is like another kind of slicing kind of feeling. So the broom I put with the tool. The stinging nettle, I would say that's organic, so I put it one side. Tangle is some sort of string. Map was paper. And then you start thinking, oh, cutting board, blanket, you start to try to make your categorization more significant. In this case, because this deck doesn't have any kind of suits, I know some Oracle deck that has suits. You're kind of making your own suits here by yourself, based on your own arbitrary emotions and your own arbitrary instincts on what the categories might be. Right here I moved all the tools on one end because I realized, oh, they can be conflated into just tools, and then courage like a body part, you know. As I went through the deck, I felt like, oh, the tools are getting a bit, the card stack is getting a bit thick. Is there a way to also, you know, reduce that? Yeah, so this is basically based up to you, and every time you do this exercise, you may see different connections and different ways you want to group your cards into. So I see that the pile is pretty thick, so that what I wanted to do is to also maybe separate it out a bit more. As you can see, I pulled in the small pile with books and maps just because, you know, when you find that there's a short pile as well, they might not be a real category. So I wanted to split it out more for adventuring and then household items. So like rope, slingshot, those are things for going out. You can't really use a telescope as you walk, so I put it in the household. Flask can be both, but I would say that you want to have a drink when you're, you know, outside. So that's how I slowly split them up into things that you use indoors and outdoors. So right here, you might want to take a pile that is not too thick and lay them out. So ask yourself, what do they have in common, and what differences do they have? The knot, the needle and thread, the tangle of the snake, and the concentric circles. All these felt like, you know, they were lines to me, just long lines. What you can do is take a picture maybe of all of them laid out together. In this case, I'm using my iPad. If you don't, maybe you can, in your journal, you know, just write them out, draw them out. Here I made some notes, like what are the similarities here between these cards? You know, all of them are long, all of them are like made of string or some sort of, you know, some sort of textile. You see, then the snake jumps out. This is where you see the difference. Oh, the snake doesn't really come in with that. Oh, and then you see, oh, the concentric circles are also different because they don't have any knots in them compared to the rest, which are definitely or can be knotted. So this is where you see the differences and the similarities. And you ask yourself, you know, what does all this mean? This is how I slowly learn each card and how they are juxtaposed to each other. And so, for example, when you see concentric circles, next time you know, okay, there are no tangles here, there are no knots. Versus, you know, seeing the knot. Might not be a great example, but you know, that's what I think about. Here, I'm also thinking about how to recategorize some of the thicker piles. So I see nets, which can also be like a string, and I see rope, which is also long. So this is how you reconsider your piles. And as you go along, you know, every time you do it, you will see different categories. And then the next thing you want to do here is, of course, practice your cards. Here, you just pick up two, you know, do a quick interpretation. Oh, the map and the book, both are paper. You know, one is a plotting, one's a knowledge, and then you take out another two cards. Just immediately just say, oh, diving helmet, a wrong tool for the environment. This is what you're facing now. Pick out the next two, whistle and crater, for example. You know, no one can hear you in space right now. Just say your first intuitive hit and then just continue throughout the deck. That's how you also practice how to use the deck. I also know that this is not like the best edited video, but I hope it was helpful. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments and I'll do my best, okay? You guys have a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye.